Welcome to Beyond the Bottom Line. I'm Deer, and today we're tackling an issue that affects almost every consumer: greenwashing. You've likely encountered it. Companies touting eco-friendly products or sustainable practices that sound too good to be true. But what is greenwashing really? It's when businesses make misleading or false claims about their environmental efforts to appear greener than they actually are. As sustainability becomes a top consumer priority, greenwashing is on the rise. But why does it matter? And more importantly, how can we spot it? Let's break it down. Greenwashing isn't just a nuisance, it's a booming industry. A 2024 study by the European Commission found that 53% of environmental claims made by companies were misleading. The financial incentives are massive. Products marketed as sustainable command price premiums of 15 to 30%. In the fashion industry alone, green products generated $22 billion in 2023, up from $10 billion in 2019. But much of this growth is built on shaky claims. Greenwashing exploits our desire to make ethical choices without sacrificing convenience. Companies use tactics like the halo effect. One sustainable feature like recyclable packaging creates the illusion of overall environmental responsibility. Emotional manipulation. Images of nature, forests, and oceans trigger positive associations, distracting from unsustainable practices. Jargon overload. Terms like biodegradable or carbon neutral are thrown around without explanation, confusing consumers into assuming they're meaningful. Let's explore how different sectors are implicated in greenwashing, starting with fashion. H&M's Conscious Collection claims to use sustainable materials, but only 5% of its products meet these criteria, while the rest rely on conventional, resource-intensive fabrics. The company's recycling program has collected over 1 billion garments since 2013, yet less than 1% are actually recycled into new clothing due to technical limitations. ASOS and Boohoo faced UK regulatory action in 2022 for vague eco-friendly claims, with Boohoo's Conscious line using just 2% organic cotton. Another greenwashing scandal, this time in the auto industry, Volkswagen's Dieselgate scandal, involved installing software to cheat emissions tests in 11 million vehicles, resulting in $30 billion in fines and settlements. More recently, BMW faced criticism for its iVision Future concept car, which claimed to be sustainable but used materials with high environmental footprints. The automotive industry collectively spends $20 billion annually on green advertising, yet only 15% of new vehicles are electric. The food and beverage industry is also a notorious culprit of greenwashing. Nestle advertised eco-designed water bottles while opposing plastic taxes in multiple countries. Coca-Cola's World Without Waste initiative pledged to collect one bottle for everyone sold, but only 14% of its packaging is recycled globally. Oatly's 2024 ads comparing oat milk's carbon footprint to dairy were banned in the UK for overstating scientific consensus. Even the beauty industry is not immune to greenwashing. L'Oreal's carbon neutral claims for its L'Oreal Paris line were challenged by the UK ASA in 2023 for lack of evidence. The company's biosourced products use petrochemicals despite marketing suggesting natural ingredients. Sephora's Clean at Sephora label allows products with up to 10% synthetic chemicals, misleading consumers about purity. Finally, and arguably the worst culprits of greenwashing, fossil fuel giants. ExxonMobil and Shell allocate less than 1% of their $40 billion annual budgets to clean energy despite massive ad campaigns. Chevron's Will You Join Us campaign was ruled misleading by the UK ASA in 2023 for exaggerating renewable investments. Greenwashing is not only unethical, but also costly. A 2025 report estimates that $1 trillion could be wasted globally on ineffective sustainability initiatives by 2030. This misallocation of resources starves legitimate green innovations of investment. For example, while fossil fuel companies spent $1.8 billion on greenwashing ads in 2023, renewable energy R&D funding grew by only 3% that year. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok have become greenwashing battlegrounds. Influencers promote sustainable brands without disclosing partnerships, while algorithms prioritize content that triggers emotional engagement, making exaggerated eco claims go viral. A 2024 analysis found that 78% of sustainability-related influencer posts lacked factual backing. Brands like Glossier and Patagonia have publicly criticized this trend, with Patagonia CEO Rick Ridgway stating, "Social media turns sustainability into a hashtag, not a practice." The good news is that countries are taking action. In the UK, the Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, launched a Green Claims Challenge. In 2024, fining companies like Boohoo £1 million for misleading sustainability claims. In the US, the FTC updated its green guides in 2025, requiring companies to substantiate claims like carbon neutral with third-party verification. The land down under, Australia, introduced mandatory sustainability reporting for companies with revenue over 100 million Australian dollars, effective 2026. You can work against greenwashing too. 1. Look for third-party certifications, such as Rainforest Alliance, Carbon Trust Standard, or FSC. These require rigorous audits. Unlike vague labels like eco-friendly, some companies create their own green seals to look official. Always verify if a certification is recognized. 2. Check for vague language. Terms like greenest, cleanest, eco-friendly, green, or natural mean nothing if they are not backed up by specific facts or third-party certifications. 3. Research the company's supply chain. Brands like Lokai openly share sourcing details, while greenwashers hide theirs. Legitimately sustainable companies will disclose details about their materials, emissions, and sourcing. If a company vaguely claims to be carbon neutral but doesn't explain how, it's a red flag. 4. Use tools like the Eco Label Index, which tracks 450 plus sustainability labels worldwide. Websites like Good On You for fashion, Ethical Consumer, and the B Corp directory can help verify company claims. 5. Read consumer reviews. Excessive packaging or undisclosed materials in eco products are red flags. If a company spends more money on ads about sustainability than on actual sustainability efforts, that's a warning sign. Look at the company's overall business model, not just one green product. Greenwashing thrives in ambiguity, but educated consumers can dismantle it. By demanding transparency, supporting regulatory efforts, and leveraging technology, we can shift the narrative from superficial claims to substantive action. As sustainability becomes non-negotiable, companies must adapt or risk being left behind. Thanks for tuning in to Beyond the Bottom Line. Our next episode is going to be an interesting one. Are EVs actually better for the environment? Until then, keep questioning, keep demanding proof, and keep thinking beyond the bottom line.